You ever see a swarm of blue windbreakers with Postal Inspection Service stamped across the back descend on a neighborhood gazebo like angry bees after someone knocked over a soda? No? Well, that's something you don't forget, trust me. That was the morning our legendary HOA president, Patrice Voss, strutted out to give her usual speech, only for a federal agent named Keely to snap handcuffs around her wrists mid-sentence. Meanwhile, someone's Bed Bath & Beyond coupon caught the wind and fluttered away, and there I was, standing by the mailboxes, clutching a sad little pile of return to sender envelopes, deadpan as ever, thinking, so do I finally get my water bill back, or what? Yeah, that happened. Name's Evan Trammell, and around Mapler Crest down in Kingdom, I'm what you'd call invisible. Around here, the stripes in your lawn have more rights than the people mowing them. I keep my head down, coffee at 6 a.m., headphones on, sanding furniture in my garage, polite waves, grass trimmed right at 2.75 inches, not a blade out of place. You learn fast that surviving in an HOA means flying under the radar. Pay your dues. Paint the house, approved beige number 7. And, whatever you do, never make eye contact at the monthly meetings. Seriously, trust me on that. But Patrice, she was different. Not just the HOA president, she was a force of nature. Helmet hair that would outlast a tornado, Pilates posture that screamed predator, and a clipboard you'd swear had its own social security number. She'd been president for 6 years running, mostly because nobody sane wanted her job. But Patrice? She needed the power like oxygen. Her mission, purify the neighborhood, rid it of visual clutter. That meant my porch light. Too warm, my house numbers, not enough serif. And for her final crusade, our mailbox cluster. The government-issued, regulation steel box serving 12 homes, with a literal federal property sticker on it. To Patrice, it was an eyesore, the root of all evil. She spent months demanding it be moved, replaced, or, her favorite, just buried underground. The Postal Service folks said no. Politely, repeatedly, firmly. So Patrice did what she always does, took matters into her own hands. First came the HOA citations, non-compliant mailbox usage, my address mangled beyond recognition. Next, a nasty little write-up in the HOA newsletter about abuse of postal amenities, names withheld, but you'd have to be a cactus not to get the hint. Then things got personal. My mail started boomeranging back, packages marked refused, bills undeliverable, and a birthday card from my sister, opened, resealed with a sticky note. Item opened for HOA security. The $20 bill. Inside. Gone. My sister confirmed she'd tucked it in. That was it. So I installed cameras. Discreet, right at my window, aimed at the mailbox cluster. The footage? Wild. Every morning at 7:15, Patrice strolled up with a janitor's ring of keys, jamming the outgoing slot with cardboard, making it impossible for anyone to send mail. Then prying open the package compartment with a screwdriver. Latex gloves on like she was prepping for surgery. The gloves, man, they told me she knew exactly how wrong this was. But she carried herself like she was untouchable. When the mail carrier showed up, Patrice intercepted him every time, like some kind of suburban sheriff, grabbing my neighbor's Netflix DVDs. Yeah, remember those? Slipping them into her own tote bag. The carrier looked anxious, but didn't intervene. Later, I found out postal workers are trained to just report mail tampering, not confront it. So I marched into the post office, video in hand. Donna, the unflappable clerk. The Postal Service has their own investigators, and they do not play around. He watched my footage, deadpan, then told me, obstructing or stealing U.S. mail is a federal crime. Real consequences. He handed me his card and said, keep filming. Don't confront her. Sometimes people dig their own graves. I took his advice. 2 days later, Patrice escalated, taping a laminated HOA order over the mail slots. Mail service suspended for Unit 14B until fines are paid. Then, with what looked like a master key, a silver, triangle-headed thing, I'd later learn it's called an arrow key. Strictly for postal carriers, she locked the outgoing bin. My doorbell cam caught her whispering, "Let's tidy up, shall we?" as she admired her handiwork and walked home swinging those keys like a prize. I sent the new footage to Inspector Ruiz. That afternoon, a plain sedan with a magnetic antenna showed up, 2 agents inside, just watching, not moving. At 3:30 sharp, Marcus the letter carrier pulled up, and Patrice, hiding behind the hydrangeas, sprang out, blocking his way, palm up, voice raised about jurisdiction. Marcus, bless him, just said, "Mom, this is the United States. Mail. Step back." Patrice barked, "This is Mapler Crest Downs. I'm president. You follow my rules here." That was the cue. Sedan doors swung open, and out stepped 2 agents, blue windbreakers. Badges, the works. "Do you have a postal arrow key?" one asked. Patrice cycled from confusion to recognition, then cold calculation. She tried to stand tall, but one agent, a woman with steel gray hair and the look of a disappointed principal, said, "Ma'am, you're not authorized to possess a postal arrow key. That's a felony." The key was still clipped to Patrice's belt, shiny as a warning. They searched her oversized tote, and out spilled bundles of resident mail, at least 40 pieces. On top, 3 open envelopes, a credit card bill, a medical notice, and my missing orbital sander. Half unboxed. Patrice tried to play it off, just helping with efficiency, but no one was buying it. The agents snapped photos, cataloged everything. Charges started rolling off their tongues: obstructing mail, possessing a postal arrow key, theft of mail, each piece a separate offense. The HOA board started gathering, jaws dropping. Linda Chun, always quiet, looked ready to applaud. Patrice's last stand? "This is a community matter, should be handled by our bylaws." But as the second cuff clicked, the sprinklers kicked on, a suburban standing ovation. Neighbors trickled out, phones up, recording. Patrice kept talking, insisting she was just protecting property values, but the agents didn't argue. Inspector Ruiz calmly read out the list: obstructing mail, 5 years, unauthorized arrow key, another 5, theft, 5 years per piece. She had 43. Her face went from fury to pure shock. The numbers did not add up in her favor. She tried to find. "We'll cooperate." Linda was already on her phone, probably planning an emergency election. Patrice caught my eye as they led her away. Rage, disbelief, maybe even a little regret. For the first time, you could see it hit her. She'd risked everything over a mailbox. When they guided her into the sedan, her helmet hair finally looked defeated, clipboard left behind on the gazebo. Papers fluttered in. The breeze, the mailbox cluster now wrapped in yellow tape. Suburban crime scene, just like TV. Marcus, finally free, delivered our mail. 6 pieces for me, held hostage all week. Water bill right on top. I just had to laugh. That day, our little kingdom of lawn stripes and mail slots got a wake-up call. Makes you wonder, how far would you go to protect your neighborhood? And how far is too far? Drop your thoughts below. Tell me if you've ever tangled with HOA power gone wild, or just say where you're watching from. And hey, if you want more stories of suburban justice, you know where to find me. This cul-de-sac? Never boring.